Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, family. I'm not going to have a long intro today. We got a lot to cover. I got breaking stuff. I got new stuff. It's just time. It's just time, family. It's time to get busy. Oh my goodness. I don't have the luxury today, you know what I mean, to do a good amped up intro. I got the breaking news today. That's right. I got the breaking news today. You know what I mean? And so, family, welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I have the breaking news today. That's right. One moment. All right, I see we didn't start it. I just see them restart. Get this out of my way. Get on up out there. Yeah, I got the breaking news today, family. I got a newly filed document by Rodney, and it goes with the first case. It's his exhibits. See, one thing that people need to understand about a lawsuit, that when you file the initial lawsuit, you also can do amendments, you can make exhibits, you can do a lot of different stuff. And I got the breaking news today, fam. So I'm getting comfortable. I'm gonna sit back, man, and man, I want y'all to sit back and be comfortable with me. But with that being said, I want to say that if anybody want to advertise on the Moorish World TV, something wholesome, something beneficial, apparel or anything, hit me up at MWTV@gmail.com. All right? Hit me up at MWTV@gmail.com. And you can get some advertising on. You know, you got to spend some money to make some money. That's just what it is. We in the business now. Let's go.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
So if you want to advertise, family, you can advertise here. And yes, I am trying to build up the platform. I'm trying to secure the platform. I'm trying to make sure that I have proper legal representation, no different than MSNBC, no different than any other platform. The Shade Room or the Shake Club and all of that stuff. All of these people, I am independent. I do this by myself with the help of Moochie Bear and a few other Moorish World TV concerned citizens. My big brother Sean, definitely a supporter. Black Girls Read, and all of y'all supporters out there, you know who you are. But it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it does take money. And so these cameras and these beats and this time that I spend doing it, that's right. So if you have a product that you think I will accept. Now, don't be talking about that you selling new rolling papers and all of that. You know what I mean? Well, you know, blunts is played out now. It's all about rolling papers. I got the new rolling papers. But Grand Chic, you know, they got dispensaries now. You know we can smoke weed now. Now, I ain't going for none of that. No, you ain't gonna do all that. But with that being said, you're welcome to submit something at MWTV at gmail.com. I mean, MWTV updates at gmail.com. All right? You're welcome to do that. So, family, it's time for us to get busy. You know what I mean? It's time for us to get busy. We live, Mellow Streets. We are live, Mellow Streets. Tell everybody that we are live, because this one here is a real one here. Rodney filed new court docs on P. Diddy. Christian COMBS.
I be that more you gon' remember.
Yeah. Let me fix this real quick. I gotta fix it. I see I messed up the title. We want to get it in there right.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I'll be there more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my
If you
number.
a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting This
like
one
you a
don't
slave.
look good.
The same people talk European how to bathe and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But where the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember.
We got it now.
Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the
I got it fresh off the press.
Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but no.
Let's get back in the algorithm. I got it fresh off the press.
Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try
We
to
back
keep
in the
a profit,
building.
it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast mistakes.
back
I
in
want
the
my town,
building.
my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep
Yes,
hating
indeed.
when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't.
We in
love
the
your neighbor.
building.
That's why you killing, fighting, Murray out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish World, then get out of my face.
Come and join me.
Italians love Italy.
We
If
going
you
over the files
go
tonight.
on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That time. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker
What up,
Bay
brother?
front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York.
We in the building.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Yes, indeed.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I be that more you gon' remember.
He's certified.
That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
I want to thank everybody who have supported the channel and has allowed the channel to grow at a smooth pace. We don't use no bots here. We don't use no offices that can make your channel grow with promising you anything. We don't do anything of the sort. We got a slow grow and we got a slow flow. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody who assisted in helping this slow flow and this slow grow. You know what I mean? The slow way is the show way. That's what we used to say. You know what I mean? Anybody been around way and did extracurricular activities, and they said, man, the slow way is the show way. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, family, we're going to get straight into it. Are you aware? I know y'all been following the story, and it seems like it's trying to die down a little bit. I don't think it's going to die down. It's going to spark and pick up, and I'm going to be right there to get it. But family, I don't know if you want to start with Christian Combs. You know, we talked about this on a few days ago. where Christian Combs had his own separate lawsuit. That means slow money better than no money. That's right. So Christian Combs got his own separate lawsuit, family, and we are going to talk about it momentarily. Now, in this one, family, this is one that we touched on. What was that? Yes, a few days ago. But now we got the documents here. That's right. We got the documents. So anybody who had made contributions to the platform, Lunch Break Chronicles, my man, Lunch Break Chronicles, thank you so much for your support. Anybody who had made contributions, just like Lunch Break Chronicles, Starlight and Crip and everybody else, if you have made contribution, you have enabled me to go ahead and get the things that I need to make sure we have a nice researched show. You know what I mean? So I want to thank Lunch Break Chronicles and anybody who ever hit the Cash App, as well as anybody that has hit the Super Chat, if you will. You know what I mean? So with that being said, family, we about to get busy. I think we ready. So let's get busy. Let's get busy. Here we go. Now, let me fix myself. Where am I at? I'm all the way over here. Let me fix myself over here. Because, fam, we're going to break this one down. And I haven't seen anybody read this one yet. I really haven't seen. So maybe this is an exclusive. But I know the next one just came out today. It just came out today. And so I'm almost sure that's going to be a definite exclusive. So let me move this out my way. Right here. Oh, y'all ready? All right, family. Let's do it. So, man, y'all got to brace yourself for this one. Let me put him up here. Y'all gonna have to brace yourself for this one, cause this one here is something else. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Y'all gonna have to brace yourself for this one. This little rascal here is something else. I see why the attorney say, like father, like son. This little rascal here, if this be true, man, it ain't. All right, let's just get into it. So, as we can see off the break, the lawsuit seems to be a little bit more detailed than what Diddy was. The complaint for damages is assault, battery, SA, premises liability, aiding and abetting, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress. So we see that already off the break, they hitting, although the ones that we read before, the one that we read before about Diddy, it seems like this one is going on a whole nother angle consistent with the old angle. But let me get started with it. It says that Plaintiff Grace, I'm going to just say Grace. I'm not going to say the whole name. Plaintiff Grace, this is the lawsuit that was filed on Christian Combs. And the next one is one that was filed today. I'm going to get through this real fast because I got to get to the one that was filed today. But when you see this one, oh my goodness, they didn't tell you. The news reports, they really glossed over this one. I'm telling you, if you go Google this right now, you will see that they're quoting stuff out of this, but they're not going in depth. And you're going to know what I'm talking about in a minute. Plaintiff Grace, by and through her attorney of record, allege as follows. Plaintiff Grace, hereafter plaintiff, is a European Caucasian female. European Caucasian female. This one is something else. I didn't read the whole thing myself, but I'm telling you, it sounds like it's going to get good already. It's a European Caucasian female who worked as a stewardess in the yacht industry since 2018. Plaintiff's love of yachting started at an early age and was the foundation in which she built her career. Through yachting, plaintiff has traveled the world, met many new friends and colleagues, and enjoyed a very successful career. Throughout her career, plaintiff have always worked well in teams and received high praises and great feedback from her managers, from her managers and colleagues. Man, this one, you wait till this thing get into the mix. Throughout her career, has always worked well with teams and received high praises and great feedback from her managers and colleagues. Plaintiff also consistently received exemplary reviews from her clients for her excellent customer service, as well as glowing references over the past few years. Plaintiff have consistently received promotion and has never been rejected for any position she applied for. Prior to being SA'd by defendant Christian Combs, hereafter defendant C. Combs, plaintiff planned to work the entirety of her career in the hospitality and the yachting industry. Unfortunately, those plans have been derailed due to the trauma plaintiff continues to have as a result of the assault. It's going to get nasty in a minute. Defendant C. Combs is 25-year-old auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. They try to do him dirty. They say he an auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. Unfortunately, as the saying has it, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, man. Now, this attorney need to stop this, man. He ain't got to do all these, taking these shots. But let me finish. He said, defendant S. Combs, who also been accused of several acts of S.A., R.A.P.E., S.V., and drug, among other deplorable conduct. Is the father of the defendant C. Combs, who has seemingly taken after his father and family business of reckless partying, drugging others, SV, and other illegal conduct. Specifically, defendant C. Combs is the second child of billionaire defendants Combs and his late ex-partner, Kim Porter. Upon information and belief, defendant C. Combs resides in the city of Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, California. Defendant S. Combs, look at that look, good goodness. Defendant Sean Combs, hereafter, defendant S. Combs, is a rapper and record executive, popularly known by his stage name Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Brother Love, or Love. Defendant S. Combs became famous in the early 90s. I guess we know all of that. And so I'm going to slide on down to jurisdiction. And you know, jurisdiction is that they have the right to file it in the county in which they're filing it. And then it say facts to all common causes of action. And this is the part that we are going to be looking at. In or around July 22nd, Grace, the plaintiff, was working on Victorious, a super yacht built by Yacht and owned and operated by Fraser. Plaintiff worked as temporary second stewardess for the company, Plaintiff worked in her temporary position for a month on Victorious, then was subsequently offered a permanent position due to her professionalism, passion for the job, and great customer service skills. In or about September the 22nd, plaintiff had been part of a dedicated team at the Monaco Boat Show tasked with selling charters for Victorious and high net worth clients such as C. Combs and S. Combs. In December 2022, plaintiff and her team were advised that the yacht had been successfully chartered for the 2022 holiday period. Plaintiff changed her personal holiday family plans to accommodate the charter service. Y'all got to get ready for this because it's about to warm up real fast. It's going to go from all this blah, blah, it's going to just heat up. Service and flew to St. Martin to prepare the yacht for service. Plaintiff soon learned the client who chartered the yacht was defendants Combs and his family. Defendant S. Combs leased the yacht and had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht. Although plaintiff used used to work in a discreet VIP environment. This was one of her first time working with an A-list celebrity. Because of this, plaintiff and the rest of the team assigned to the yacht was determined to make the holiday special for the defendants, Combs and his family. For the duration of the trip, plaintiff was assigned the 6 p.m. to the 6 a.m. shift, along with other crew members. This shift, commonly known as the late shift, was very busy. Late shift duties include dinner and drink service for the clients for the entire 12-hour period. Dinner and drink service had to be carried out with a minimum staff support or backup during the night shift. Since only 2 individuals was assigned, although defendant S. Combs was always typically on the yacht. His sons, defendant C. Combs and Justin Combs, were staying in a luxury villa nearby, but joined their father aboard the yacht most evenings. During the second week of the charter service, there was a significant amount of partying and drug use, which caused the guests to stay up through the night. It says the makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defendants S. Combs, his family, to include a constant rotation of suspected SEX workers. Here we go. Hold on one second. Let me get my. I got to make sure everything playing right, because they can cut me off any moment. You know what I mean? SEX workers. My bad. A-list celebrities such as French Montana, Cuba Gooding Jr. Here we go. Let me run back. It says the makeup of the yacht evolved from just defendants Combs and his family to include constant rotation of suspected ex-workers. Hold up. Make sure we good, because I can't see nothing on my screen right here. All right. I guess we good. Anyway, it say defendant Combs, French Montana, and there that name again, Cuba Gooding Jr. Hold up. Let me bring it back down. I'm trying to watch over here too. And Cuba Gooding Jr. French Montana. Hold on. Defendants, yeah. Defendant S. Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. According to plaintiff, it resulted in an unexpected increase in workload for her and her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, ex-work, and general chaos. It also created an extremely hazardous environment. For example, guests often demanded drink service until 6 a.m. Staff was often treated with disrespect. Suspected workers were sprawled out unconscious about the yacht, and it was difficult to distinguish which bottles of alcohol was laced with drugs, and which were not. Yeah, they going in the night. They going in this. Now, when I read this in the on the internet, when I read this on the internet, they wasn't saying none of this. None of these bloggers that I know, or even in the reports with the news report, it's like maybe the news might be even in on covering up some of this stuff. This is why I had to get it myself. And I'm going to start getting it all myself. That's why I say thanks for people like Lunch Chronicles and anybody who makes a donation or a contribution, because I got to pay for this stuff. I got to get it myself. Me and Moochie Bear got to not eat for 2 days so we can get this. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, it goes on to say, it is important to note that as a bartender, plaintiff understand the impact of alcohol and the likelihood that a person would not generally become intoxicated following one mixed drink. Because of this, plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of the LUCIAN tequila, she telling it all. After one shot of hold on. Did I go too much? After one shot, I didn't change my thing up. Hold up. 35. I didn't went too fast. Hold up 1 second. There you go. It says, after one shot, it is very important to note that as a bartender, plaintiff understands the impact of alcohol and the likelihood that a person would not generally become intoxicated following one mixed drink. Because of this, plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of the LUCIAN tequila or mixed drink, various women on the yacht would be falling over themselves, panicking, or passing out. This led plaintiff to reasonably believe that the alcohol given to these women were most likely laced with drugs. Plaintiff was unaware that Rodney Jones, Mr. Jones, a producer, was employed to work on the Love album Off the Grid, was required to be standby for musical recordings, often late into the night. Often late into the night. The Love album, Off the Grid, the fifth studio album by American rapper and record producer Sean Diddy Combs, released September the 15th, 2023. Mr. Jones was accepted as an extended member of the service staff and spent time with plaintiff at the service bar and piano room where he played the piano. On or about the early morning of December 28th, 2022, the evening shift started as normal, as about 5 a.m. Plaintiff was messaged on the on-duty phone that defendant C. Combs would be joining the yacht by tender, a smaller craft, or tender is a yacht, okay. By tender, a smaller craft that runs back and forth from the larger yacht and used for servicing and providing support and entertainment to the private or charter yacht. Defendant C. Combs wanted to be brought over to Victoria's to record in the yacht's makeshift recording studio with Mr. Jones. All right, let me roll it. It says, although it was not unheard of for the defendant C. Combs to come aboard at such a late hour, he usually stayed at the dwelling offshore overnight, particularly when there was no party on board or any given night. Defendant C. Combs arrived in the tender and was heavily intoxicated. Plaintiffs suspect defendant C. Combs was intoxicated from a mixture of narcotics and alcohol. Upon entering the recording studio, defendant C. Combs immediately started ordering that tequila shots be poured from the bottle of alcohol he may have brought onto the yacht. Ironically, defendant C. Combs was playing Cassie, Me and You, was playing in the background. Cassie was an artist under C. Combs and was his former love interest who had accused S. Combs of serious S and mental A. In the studio, defendant Combs asked that the plaintiff bring the shots to the recording soundtrack. I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. To recording studio Sundeck, and the plaintiff obliged, as she was the only serving steward at the time. What? It's about to get heavy. The only serving steward at the time. Plaintiff noticed immediately that he was particularly attentive with her, which she considered very inappropriate. However, plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila. he may have brought on board of the yacht. Under pressure and wanting to be polite, plaintiff obliged. Prior to this, the plaintiff witnessed defendant S. Combs create a Black Santa video, which showed him demanding the captain, various head of departments, and crew take a shot of tequila with him. As this was a pattern established by the captain of the yacht and the defendant Combs, plaintiff felt comfortable knowing that Mr. Jones was present and didn't think anything, and didn't think anything, didn't think anything of it. Let me finish with this real quick. What y'all think so far? Y'all think it's going to get good? Oh, yeah. It's about to in a minute. And didn't think anything more of it. And then the next one that I'm going to read is something more than that. And didn't think anything more of it. Hold up. She felt she would take one shot and he would return to the pantry. According to the plaintiff, at this point, the mood changed and the things became sinister. Defendant C. Combs insisted that the plaintiff stay chatting and that she sit beside him. Plaintiff resisted and remained polite, asking to leave. Defendant C. Combs became aggressive and insisted that the plaintiff take a further shot and sit beside him. At this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. Good goodness gracious. At this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. Plaintiff insisted that she had hold up. Plaintiff insisted that she had to return to the pantry, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Agreed, defendant C. Combs forced plaintiff to take another shot. Plaintiff was quite scared and realized she was in a very dangerous situation. Good goodness gracious. Whew. She was in a very dangerous situation. Plaintiff was also feeling the effect of the tequila shots and quickly suspected that the tequila was spiked. At this point, the situation escalated and plaintiff started to be physically assaulted by defendant S. Combs. He touched the plaintiff's legs, breasts, anus, and V part. He also tried to kiss her and proceeded to kiss her neck, face, and hands. All right. Here we go. Her face and hands. The timeline, my bad. The timeline at this point is very blurry, vague to plaintiffs, as she does not recall exactly what happened to her due to the effects of the spiked tequila shots. Luckily for plaintiff, due to defendant S. Combs' insistence on Mr. Jones recording everything, Mr. Jones has audio recording of defendant C. Combs drugging and S.A. plaintiff. Below is the transcript of defendant Combs forcing plaintiff to consume the suspected lace shots of tequila de Leon. I guess that's what it is. It goes on to say, yo, it's shot o'clock. Plaintiff, no, I'm not doing shots, Christian. Defendant C. Combs, everybody, we got to take a shot. Plaintiff, I'll just put the lid. I don't know what that means. I'll just put the lid. Defendant C. Combs. No. Take the whole thing. I guess I'm not a drinker. I'll just put the lid. I guess that just take a little swig or something. Anyway, excuse me. Plaintiff, no. You would take it all. You would take it as well. Take the whole shot. goes on to say, take the whole shot. And the plaintiff says, I'm only doing it. The plaintiff says, I'm only doing it as long as you take it as well. Defendant, I ain't going to lie. I'm not taking nothing. Please, take the shot. Plaintiff, you are drugging me. Come on, man. Take the shot. Sound like basketball. I don't mean to laugh, but man, this is horrendous. If this is true, it's all alleged. Yo, play another beat one time, because now, below is the transcript. Defendant C. Combs, S. of plaintiff. Cassie, Me and You, Future and Diddy, and Young Jock song playing in the background. Plaintiff, this is not an offer. Defendant C. Combs, you said what? Plaintiff, I can't. I'm swapping out. I can't do it. I'm sorry, darling. Defendant C. Combs, nah, we need you. Plaintiff, I'm going to stop. Stop. I have to go. Honestly, I'm like already losing sleep. I have to go now. Defendant C. Combs, you're the best one on the ship, though. Plaintiff, what do you mean? Defendant C. Combs, who's going to replace you? Plaintiff, who's going to replace me? Defendant C. Combs, up that. That's going to be trash, though. You feel me? Plaintiff, excuse me? You don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my leg where I want to. Plaintiff, if you do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Defendant C. Combs, listen, you and everybody in the crew, it's great. Hold up. I told you they play Lil Jock, it's going down. All right. You and everybody in crew, line 23. That's why I got to keep an eye on this. Line 23. Listen, you and everybody in the crew, it's great. Plaintiff, I can't. I have to go down. Defendant C. Combs, no. Yo, tell me. Listen. Plaintiff, what? Defendant C. Combs, like I say, you're just vibing with me the whole time. Plaintiff, I can't. I promise you. I wish I could, but I can't. Unless I say you guys requested me. Defendant C. Combs, yes. Who can I talk to right now? Who can I talk to? I'm going to say, I requested you right now. Plaintiff, well, you can take your hands off of my ASS for the first thing. According to plaintiff, she said she would have to be requested because she knew anyone of authority who would approve the request was asleep. Defendant C. Combs would not have been able to contact them, and plaintiff could then leave. After being assaulted in the recording studio, plaintiff attempted to resume her duties that night. She made her way to the pantry where she met another steward who was assigned to take over the shift. Her colleague recognized that plaintiff was visibly intoxicated, in shock, and trying to finish the shift. Hold 1 second. And trying to finish the shift. Hold up. And trying to finish the shift. Shortly after returning to the pantry, defendant C. Combs called for the plaintiff. He went looking for her and demanded that she find him a place to sleep on the yacht. At such late hour of the night, there were no spare cabins for the defendant C. Combs. This thing read like a movie, don't it? For the defendant C. Combs to stay in. Despite this, he refused to go back to shore. The most acceptable place for him to sleep that night was in the cinema. Plaintiff directed him to the cinema, which was commonly used as extra sleeping area. The cinema has one door to exit and enter. Plaintiff entered the room. Defendant C. Combs blocked her from exiting. Plaintiff retreated to the corner of the room. The defendant C. Combs became physically and extremely aggressive. He cornered plaintiff and started to grope her. Plaintiff pushed him back constantly. Defendant C. Combs then took off all of his clothes. His man part was erect. He grabbed her arms and was trying to force plaintiff to perform oral copulation on him. The plaintiff began fighting defendant C. Combs and not long after her, oh my goodness, man. And not long after her partner on board entered the cinema, this startled defendant C. Combs, and the plaintiff was finally able to leave. Good goodness gracious, family. I told you, they didn't put this on the internet. They didn't put this on the internet, and I can understand why, but this is a public document. Litigation is public. It says, the plaintiff partner became concerned and went looking for the plaintiff after she did not return to her room after the shift had ended. The morning after, plaintiff complained the yacht's captain, Captain Peter Milcove. Captain Milcove berated the plaintiff. He lacked compassion or concern, failed to investigate it, and insisted that the plaintiff was probably voluntarily partying with the guest. She was not. Captain Milcove added insult to injury by assigning plaintiff to work in front of the house, which required personally serving defendant C. Combs while they were on the yacht. Plaintiff was not provided an option to be isolated or have to serve defendant C. Combs. Plaintiff was 25 years old at the time of the attack. Based on information and belief, defendant Combs' employees, including his drug mule Brandon Paul, his chief of staff Christina Coram, and his second in line Frankie Santella, learned of what occurred and informed defendant S. Combs. Shortly after, Captain Milcove received a generous tip from defendant S. Combs in order to keep Captain Milcove quiet and keep him from protecting plaintiff or taking action on her behalf. Only a few members of the ship's staff were required to write statements. Plaintiff and her partner were the only two staff members not interviewed and not asked to write a statement. Hold on now. This ain't nothing yet. And now she shows bruises. In the complaint, she is now showing bruises. You follow me? So in this complaint is a little bit different than the last one. It's a little bit different than the last one. This one actually is showing bruises. The last one, it showed things that wasn't actually the people that was victimized. But now this is one that's considered a victim, and it's showing the bruises. You follow me? And this is what they showing for the court. So you already know if they showing this to file this, you already know that they probably got a little bit more than this. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to show you how in this document right here, this is not, they don't even have any exhibits. So they still got a chance to put exhibits up. You know what I mean? They still got a chance to put exhibits up. So I guess this would be one of the exhibits, but they probably got some more coming. Anyway, with that being said, it goes on to say, according to plaintiff, the past year, 2023, has been the most deeply traumatizing time of her life. After defendant Combs' SA and subsequent cover-up orchestrated by the defendant Combs and his staff, plaintiff was isolated and retaliated against on the yacht. The isolation and retaliation finally resulted in the plaintiff's termination by Captain Peter Milcove on or around May 10th, 2023. In addition to losing her employment, plaintiff also lost a longtime partner with whom she had planned a future. Plaintiff partner was never the same after seeing plaintiff bruises on her body because defendant C. Combs SA and having to deal with the mental and emotional ramification, so they separated. Plaintiff mental health deteriorated deteriorated to the point that she was medicated and required extensive therapy. Additionally, she fell into deep depression and was unable to fully carry out her maid of honor duties at the wedding of her only sister in June 2023, which she had been looking forward to during for the 18 months. Plaintiff anxiety, panic attacks prevented her from securing another permanent position in the yacht industry in 2023. So we're going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there because we know the rest of it is they're going to put a lot of juice on there. But this is it. This is it. I mean, it's actually I think it's 30 some pages, but I think that in this, you got the cause of action where it talks like the plaintiff battered and SA'd, stuff like that. So basically, it's a reiteration of what happened, but it's being breaking down in cause of action, like aiding and abetting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah. So family, that's number one. But now we have something new that just came out. My eyes, I'm reading this thing. My eyes then got watery on me. Goodness. And I ain't even crying. I'm just like, this stuff is hard to read from a distance. But anyway, so family, I need everybody to thumbs up because now we're gonna go into something that was filed today. Something that was filed today. Rodney filed himself something today. You follow what I'm saying? So we're about to get right into it. That means.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
If you wish to advertise on Moorish World TV, all you have to do is send a request to MWTV updates@gmail.com. And if you got a product that we can proudly sell, help you sell to our people that benefits, hey, this is your place. You know what I mean? This is your place. So email me at mwtvupdates@gmail.com if you want to sell a product on here. But it has to be something that people can appreciate, not something that makes people depreciate, if you dig. With that being said, so family, here we go. One down, man. This one here. Now, first, let me show you that. Let me see real quick. First, let me show you. Where did I put that? I'm tripping. All right, hold up. There you go. Take that. Now we got Diddy. Man. Now we got Diddy. Yes, indeed. And this one here, family. I'm about to let y'all. Whew, here we go. Somebody gotta do it. I guess it's me. Somebody gotta do it, family. Somebody gotta do it. Now, if you don't know, then you will in a second. The original case is right here. If you don't remember, this case was filed on 2/26, as you see at the top. You know what I mean? As you see at the top. Somebody say your screen is blurry. That might be your... They playing with my stuff? You know what? I can't even see it on my phone now. Somebody said my screen is blurry. The weird thing is that I can't even see it on my phone. And I got good let me make sure it ain't me. All right. I'm just hooking my phone up to the Wi-Fi now to make sure. That's why I watch my phone, because I want to make sure. See, I do my thing live and direct. I do it live and direct. So I want to make sure, you know what I mean? A lot of people do pre-recordings, but mine is live and direct. So I want to make sure that it's always giving good feed. Yeah, mine is clear as ever. Mine is clear as ever. But with that being said, family, yeah, you might got bad internet connection. But with that being said, family, so as you can see on this document right here, if you look at the top, this is how you need to know that this is breaking news. If you look at the top, you'll see that the document was filed 2/26/24. Everybody peep that? Let me see if y'all still with me. Y'all still with me? Press 7 if you still with me, because we're about to get one that was filed early today. You follow what I'm saying? We're about to get one that was filed earlier today. Today is the 9th, ain't it? Today is the 9th, ain't it? All right. Let me move this out my way. Thank you so much, Lunch Break Chronicles. All right. Now. All right, everybody with me. This is Exhibit B. And as you can see, it was filed 4/09/24. It was filed 4/09/24. Make sure everybody can see it, because this is fresh off the press. 4/09/24. Same case number, everything. But this is the exhibits. Now, I'm reading this for the first time just like you. Like I said on my show last night, I like it to be organic, and so I like to read it when you read it. I skim through it, but allegedly, this was filed today. Oh no, LL, no, but LL, you got let me pause for a second. LL say, why are you talking like that? I was not trying to be rude. No, LL, we family over here. We don't disrespect one another. We just talk straight up. We just talk straight up. We love you, LL. I mean, no Diddy, but we love you. No, we just raw over here. We just talk straight up, LL. Don't take anything personal over here. We straight up people. They call me out. You know, let me stop for 1 second before I start this, family. Do y'all know that when I was doing the show with Rob, with the guy Robert, everybody, but don't take nobody personal, LL. When I was doing the show with Robbie Bowe, whatever his name was, do you know that everybody in the audience was like, Grand Sheik, you can't be going for this. Grand Sheik, what you doing? Grand Sheik, you can't be doing for They was on me the whole show. And guess what? I had to sit up there like this. I had to sit up there like this while the guy was straight capping. He was talking crazy. I had to sit up there like this and look at the chat while my friends was just like, Grand Sheik, seriously? Oh, you gonna let this fly? You gonna let this fly, Grand Sheik? Seriously? They was in the chat. They was like, I'm calling cap. And because they rock with me, they was trying to give me the benefit of the doubt. But they was like, man, you gonna let this go, Grand Sheik? So, but the Crip is me. I am Crip. You know what I mean? We all work together. We don't take anything personal. Don't take anything personal on Moorish World TV. We all brothers and friends in here. Yeah, we all brothers and friends and sisters and all that over here. Don't take nothing personal over here. I mean, nobody is personal over here. You know what I mean? Like, if you take it too personal over here, I mean, this is going to be a hard one over here. You know what I mean? Anyway, with that being said, it's all good. LL, sit back. We good. Let me get it. Let me get this though. So this one is the exhibit, fam. This one is the exhibit. Not that one. Not that one. This is the exhibit. And we got to put Diddy up on there. Take that, take that, take that. Yeah, I don't think Diddy never know about this one yet. This just came out today, hot off the press. I don't even think nobody know about this one. I might have to clip this down and re-upload this for tomorrow just to get up into the algorithms. That's right. That's right. You want views. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, let's get with it. Anyway, as you can see, it says this is Declaration of Rodney Jones, right? And Rodney Jones is the plaintiff, Sean Combs. And mind you, notice that this is filed in the United States Federal Court, Southern District of New York. What we just read over here they all New York. Hold on. Now, everything is New York except for Christian Combs. That's in California. So here's the original lawsuit here. And here is the exhibits here. Exhibit, what they call it? Exhibit B. So I guess this would be Exhibit A. You know what I mean? So it says Rodney in verses, Sean Combs, Justin DIOR Combs, Ethiopia, Lucian, Christina, Chalice, Love Records, Motown Records, all the same. But it says, listen to the declaration though. Rodney Jones declare, according to 28 USC 1746 as filing, I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth herein, which I know to be true and correct. And if called upon to testify as a witness, what'd he say? I could and would completely testify. This is where the rubber hit the roads. Around August 2022, I received a call from Sean Combs and his assistant employee, Frankie Santella, requesting that I produce several songs on the rhythm and blues album titled The Love Album Off the Grid. Before this conversation, I was invited to Mr. Combs' house in 2021 to produce another project. From 2022 to November 2023, I produced 9 songs on Mr. Combs' Love album. I also played several instruments on a few other songs as well. For 2 weeks in October 2022, I worked at Combs Enterprise and Combs Global offices in West Hollywood, training engineers. People say, who is Rodney Jones? Rodney Jones is the one that filed the lawsuit right after Cassie. And we went through the first lawsuit, but now we're going to the first filing. This is something that was filed today. It was filed today. I'm not sure at what time, but it was filed today, 4/9/24, allegedly. He's a producer. I lived with Mr. Combs for months at a time, spending holidays and birthdays with him, missing major family events. He was very demanding and would often deny requests to go home. My request to go home, he wouldn't let the man go home. I don't mean to laugh sometimes, man. I lived with Mr. Combs residents in Los Angeles, California, New York City, Miami, Florida. I also spent several weeks on a yacht rented in St. Bartholomew, St. Martin, and I ain't been nowhere, so I don't know, and the Virgin Islands. While living with and working for Mr. Combs, I witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far behind my role as a producer on the Love album. I had hundreds of hours of audio and video recording and photos of incidents that I detail in my first and proposed second amended complaints. Mr. Combs required that I record him constantly. He did not like to repeat himself, and I quickly learned from observing him. Oh, let me move Diddy out the way. He told a grown man he can't go home. Goodness gracious. He said, Okay, something to the tune of pair. I quickly learned from observing him lose his temper with his staff and family that they failed to remember something he said a day or two prior. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took my cell phone and began recording himself. While creating the Love album, I was required to work out several studios. The first studio where I produced the music was Chalice Recording Studios in California. We were supposed to work out of Chalice recording studios for a few weeks, but that quickly turned into a few months. In addition to Chalice Recording Studio, I worked out of Mr. Combs' home located at blah, 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 blah. From December 23, 2022 and January 4, 2023, I worked on the Love album from the recording studio set up on the yacht he rented at St. in the Virgin Islands. And I guess he's showing his tickets here, where he went on a flight in December, and I guess that would be evidence of his flight. He said, I witnessed the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms. I witnessed Mr. Combs display and distribute, I'm getting commercial too, display and distribute unregistered illegal firearms. I witnessed Mr. Combs provide laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his home in California, New York, and the Virgin Islands and Florida. I witnessed Mr. Combs' Chief of Staff, Christina KK, instruct the staff to retrieve drugs so he could provide them to Mr. Combs for his consumption. I witnessed Christian Combs drug an SA, a stewardess, while we were on the yacht Mr. Combs rented in St. blah, 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 Virgin Islands. The assault began in a makeshift studio on the yacht while I was recording Christian Combs' auto-tunes rapping. On many occasions, while on the yacht with Mr. Combs, I worked out alongside him in the gym. I have videos of Mr. Combs and me working out on a treadmill with TD Jakes playing on a monitor. My goodness. They listen to TD Jakes and about to get into some foul stuff. Goodness gracious. We watch TD Jakes sermons every morning during our workout. At first, I thought it was admirable that Mr. Combs listened to sermons while working out, until I realized he was not studying the message. He was studying the messenger's mannerisms during it. Good goodness gracious. Y'all listen to this? He was studying the messenger's mannerisms. During the gym sessions, he detailed how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes so soften the impact of his public image of Cassie Ventura's pending lawsuit. Chalice Recording Studio. The shooting. On September, remember, he making a declaration. He's saying he will testify to this in court. And for the feds, he's saying he's willing to testify. Everything that he says, he's willing to testify. On September 11, 2022, Mr. Combs held a writers and producers camp at Chalice Recording Studio. Over 100 producers, songwriters, and other creative attended his camp. Many of the attendees brought plus one with them as well. Mr. Combs, Justin Combs, and Justin friend G were also present. From my understanding, G was approximately 30 years old at the time. He's an African-American male and is much taller than me. While at the camp, I was required to work outside of the studio in the lounge area. Studio A in the lounge area. On the morning of September 12, 2022, from approximately 3 to 4 a.m., during the camp, Mr. Combs, Justin Combs, and G were in a heated conversation. The conversation was moved out of the studio and into the restroom adjacent to where I was sitting. I was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when I heard the gunshots. I recall hearing multiple shots. I immediately went into a state of shock and feared that I would or could be shot next. A crowd gathered around the restroom, and when the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and Justin exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding his torso and bleeding from what I believe was somewhere near his leg, hip area. Everyone stood around looking at G, and no one was trying to help him. I was very frustrated by the lack of aid G was receiving, and I determined not to let him die on my watch. I dropped everything I was doing, ran to G, and immediately began placing pressure on G gunshot wounds. And I was applying pressure on his, as I was applying pressure on his first wound, I realized that G was gushing blood from another area near his leg hip. So I decided to lift G and place him on the toilet. I asked the crowd to call the ambulance. I picked up G and brought him to the front of the studio where I believed the ambulance would be. Unfortunately, when I arrived at the front of the studio, I was told the ambulance was at the end of the block and refused to come to the studio out of the fear that there was an active shooting. I had to run to the ambulance and inform and convince them that it was safe for them to come to the studio. At this time, Mr. Combs and Justin Combs disappeared to Studio G across the parking lot from Studio A. Mr. Combs gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced me to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. I have video of the restroom where G was located, and it clearly shows all the blood that G lost as a result of being shot. I have several writers' camp attendees who are willing to provide court with sworn statement corroborating what I witnessed and experienced at Chalice Recording Studio. This photo was taken shortly before the shooting, and now this may be G. So he says, ex-workers parties. Remember, this is a new file document. This is a new file document. This just came out today. This came out today. This is today. You know what I mean? Early today, this came out. Sex workers, parties, and excessive drug use. Mr. Combs converted the parking lot at Charles Studios into makeshift nightclub. He had everything imaginable there, including a full-service bar, a massage spa, and a hookah. Every evening, Mr. Combs will host a party called Club Love, and there will be all the attendees of the writers' camp assisting and record label and record label executives. In addition to Club Love, Mr. Combs required everyone working on the Love album to take lace shots of the Leon tequila. I might be butchering that because I don't drink. Anyway, Mr. Combs required everyone working on the Love album to take late shots of the Leon tequila. There was no way to tell him no. Mr. Combs felt everyone who refused to drink with him was suspicious and untrustworthy. At the time, I did not realize that he had used the late shots of alcohol to obtain and maintain control over the person consuming the alcohol. Mr. Combs was not the only person. It says Mr. Combs was not the only person who pressured everyone to take shots. His chief of staff, KK, and her direct reports, DeForest Taylor, Frankie Santella, and the A&R for Love Records, Brandon Paul and Moy Barn, they did as well. Drugs and X movement. SEX TR advocating. Throughout the duration of my time living with Mr. Combs, I personally witnessed Combs order his staff to bring him drugs and SEX workers. This was a common occurrence, and he was never told no. On several occasions while in Miami, I was required to order workers from the strip clubs in Miami, Florida. I would have to send the workers Ubers to Mr. Combs' property, located at 2-Star Island in Miami, Florida. I am in possession of many Uber receipts. On several occasions, I witnessed Brandon Paul pack cocaine TUCI, ecstasy, marijuana, lace candies, and marijuana and other substance in a carry-on luggage wherever we had to travel internationally and to other states. SEXTRA, African. Throughout my time with Mr. Combs, I was transported from California to New York, Florida, and the Virgin Islands. During this time, I was forced to solicit SEX workers and to perform SES acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. So he was paying this man to do freaky stuff, it seemed to be. Let me read one more time. During this time, I was forced to solicit SEX workers and perform SEX acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. Unbeknownst to me, Mr. Combs had handed cameras and audio devices in all of the rooms of his homes. I only discovered this several months into living with him when I had to pick up Uber Eats delivery from the security office. Usually the security would bring my food deliveries to me wherever I was in Mr. Combs' home. But at this time, I was close and familiar with the security, so they called me to their room and told me I could go in to retrieve my food myself. I saw 4 to 6 large flat screen television monitors at that time. Each monitor had at least 20 to 30 little screens in them. Each screen was a view of a room in the surrounding Combs' home. On the following occasion, I was forced to solicit different S workers and bring them to Star Island in Miami. And he's naming dates. He's naming dates when he had to solicit. There it is. And from 11/29/2022, from 5/8 to 2023. He's laying it down. No Diddy. For example, on July 2nd, 2023, Mr. Combs had a listening party in his California home. There were a lot of people present this day, including Chris Brown, Justin Combs, ex-S workers, and some underage girls. And look at this, they not playing. He's saying, remember, he's saying that he would testify. He's saying that he would testify on these things. Justin Combs would typically bring the younger women to these parties. I have 2 videos of 2 different S workers that Justin Combs brought with him to Chalice Recording Studio. I can provide the videos to the court. This event began at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested female S workers and required me to solicit them. An hour later, several S workers appeared. In addition to S workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd who appeared to be under the age of 16. Mr. Combs forced all the workers. Mr. Combs forced all the attendees to drink Lace de Leon liquor. I believe Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. I have personally witnessed his staff members, Brendan Paul and Maury Braun, lace alcohol with ecstasy. The presence of what I perceive to be underage women made me very uncomfortable. I attempted to leave, and Mr. Combs forced me to stay. I had my car keys in my hand, in my book bag. I've never lost my car keys, and Mr. Combs went so far to take my car keys to prevent me from leaving. After being forced to drink Lace de Leon shots, I began feeling lightheaded and passed out. I remember waking up at 4 a.m. and the following morning naked with a S worker sleeping next to me. On Friday, On February 2nd, 2023, I believe Mr. Combs drugged me. I remember waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. I was in the bed with 2 S workers and Mr. Combs. I also recall aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. I have photos of the S workers sleeping on the bed the morning after. I can provide it to the court as necessary. Remember that he's saying that he will provide everything that he's saying through the court. And this was filed allegedly today. According to on the paper, it was filed today. On Thanksgiving night 2022, Mr. Combs home. On Thanksgiving night 2022, Mr. Combs home in Miami, Florida, he asked me and DeForest Taylor to enter to the bathroom in his studio. He asked us for $100 bill because he just wanted us to do cocaine with him. Good goodness, I knew I was stuttering for a minute. Good goodness gracious, Diddy. I hope this is not true. On Thanksgiving night of 2022, at Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida, he asked me and DeForest Taylor to enter the bathroom in his studio. He asked us for a $100 bill because he wanted us to do cocaine with him. I was deathly afraid. Luckily, I did not have a $100 bill. Mr. Combs waited a little later to do the cocaine with Young Miami. He telling it all. He ain't playing, is he? Remember, again, let me show you for those who don't know that this is not old information. Some of it is repeated, but as you can see at the top of the screen, this information here was released today, 4/9/2024. This is not something that's days old. No, this is today. So with that being said, let's finish it up. Let's finish it on up. Dang, Diddy. So it says, on many different occasions, Mr. Combs required me to solicit S workers from the booby trap on the river located at Miami, Florida. I did as he asked, and Mr. Combs forced me to engage in unsolicited relations with these workers. Mr. Combs personally trained me how to solicit S workers from booby trap on the river. I have a recording of the event and can provide it to the court. In addition to providing me training, Mr. Combs gave me exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required me to wear it to booby trap on the river as a signal to any S worker I approached that Mr. Combs was in town and had sent me to recruit them. I had no desire to visit booby trap on the river. I had no desire to solicit S workers from the booby trap on the river. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and enforce me into soliciting S workers from the booby trap on the river. Unbeknownst to me, these workers were accustomed to servicing Mr. Combs and would know that he was in town by the sight of the bad boy's baseball cap. Mr. Combs promised me many things to entice me to continue to engage in this S trafficking demonstration. On multiple occasions, we discussed winning Grammys for the Love album. He promised I would win the Grammy for the Producer of the Year for the Love album. He offered me $250,000 to purchase all instruments I wanted. He promised me ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised to give me access to record label executives like LUCIAN CHARLES GRAINGE and Ethiopian blah, blah, blah. On multiple occasions, Mr. Combs hosted parties at his homes in LA and Miami. Many music label executives from Universal Music Group and Motown was present. Some of the other organizations represented were Apple Music, Good goodness of grace. You hear this? He got everybody down. Some of the other organization that was represented was Apple Music and Spotify, who was at Mr. Combs' house in April 2023 for a listening party and after party. And this is how we know that the hip-hop game is rigged. They playing what people are paying. This is how we know. This is how we know. Talking about it's a listening party. Now this a grease your palms party. No Diddy and get your stuff streamed. Anyway, S.A. by Young Miami's cousin. As previously mentioned during the Thanksgiving gathering, Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida, Mr. Combs offered me cocaine. I rejected this offer and walked into the restroom, which was off the right after you enter into his home studio. While using the restroom, Young Miami cousin burst in the bathroom, began groping me. I honestly believe that Mr. Combs sent her there to S.A. me, as I continue to hear him and the other guests laughing outside the door. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began to perform oral on my man part. I pushed away and exit the bathroom. Young Miami cousin did not accept my rejection and followed me out of the bathroom. She started undressing in front of everyone and attempted to straddle me and have with me in the presence of Mr. Combs and all of his staff. They were all laughing. Despite the lack of assistance from Mr. Combs and his staff, I pushed her off. I can provide photos and videos of the room before the assault. Mr. Combs used my admiration for producer Stevie J to groom me into accepting gay relations. Here we go. I have nothing against individuals who are members of the lettered community. I have family members and friends who are members of the lettered community. I am a hetero male, and I made that point very clear to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs will always do things to convert in overt and covert and overt ways to see I would be open to having relations with men. Aside from physically assaulting me by groping me privates and behind, Mr. Combs showed me a video of music producer Stephen Ern Jordan having relation with a Caucasian man. Stevie J was a part of Bad Boy Records production team, The Hitman, and he had worked for Mr. Combs for nearly 30 years. He produced many hit songs and won Grammy Awards for his work on Mr. Combs' album. This was the same Grammy that Mr. Combs promised I would win for the Love album. As a young producer, I admired Stevie J's success. Mr. Combs knew this, and we had many discussions about it. He used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of my admiration of Stevie J to groom and entice me to engage in man. I don't even know how to say this stuff, man. In man-on-man relations. Mr. Combs went so far to share a video who he claimed was Stevie J having a relation with a Caucasian male without protection. I honestly believe that Mr. Combs showed me this to attribute it to Stevie J to see my reaction and to ease my anxiety concerning relations with men. The person in the video looked like and sounded like Stevie J. I honestly believe it was him. Mr. Combs told me that this was normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it. He also shared that there were many other known artists who engage in relations with men. Remember the guy said that that Rick Ross and all of them, they all engage in this type of behavior. If y'all don't remember, the guy that I think he's unlived now for breaking it all down, telling everybody what was going on. But anyway, he says, He says, during my time with Mr. Combs, I have personally witnessed these men in other visits his house and disappear into bedroom for hours. Hold up. During my time living with Mr. Combs, I'm going to highlight this. Yeah, we got to see this. During my time living with Mr. Combs, I have personally witnessed these men and others visit his houses and disappear into his bedroom for hours. Several of these men own record labels and have notable catchphrases like, and another one, or Bayback music. Now remember, we had the video where the guy say that DJ Khaled and Rick Ross was of the lettered community with Puffy. And another one is attributed to DJ Khaled, allegedly. Maybach music, we know who that is. I can provide the names at the court's request. Cuba Gooding Jr. SA'd me. I believe Mr. Combs was grooming me to pass me off to his friends. And my fear became a reality when he introduced me to Cuba Gooding Jr. While we were on his yacht. During the introduction, he suggested that Cuba get to know me better. He then left me alone with him in a makeshift studio on the yacht. Cuba Gooding Jr. touched, groped, and fondled my legs, upper inner thigh, near my groin, and small of my back, near my buttocks. Oh my goodness, man. Radio acting crazy, man. Come on, radio. And his shoulders. This made me extremely uncomfortable, and I tried to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. I rejected his advances, but Mr. Jr. did not stop until I forcefully pushed him away. Good goodness gracious. Drug use and distribution. This ain't that long. It's almost done. On several occasions, Mr. Combs informed me, man, again, this was filed today, allegedly 4/9/24. We on page 13 of 19. On several occasions, Mr. Combs informed me that executive at parties at his homes were Lucian, I ain't gonna name all them names, but anyway, represented from UMG and Motown. Mr. Combs often left the parties when these executives appeared and took them to his bedroom. I'm going to say it again. Mr. Combs informed me that, remember when Kevin Hart was in the bedroom? Kevin Hart said, I ain't getting in the bed. I ain't getting on the bed. It said, so let me, it said Lucian Charles Grange, Ethiopian, and other talent acquisition representative from UMG and Motown. Mr. Combs often left the parties when these executives appeared and took them to his bedroom. They would be gone for several hours. Although I saw who Combs was referring, I never personally met with or spoke to Lucian Charles Grange, Ethiopian, or any other executive who was present at these parties. I was prohibited from doing so, as meetings or being introduced to them was a privilege. I would have to earn their loyalty and obedience to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs personally informed me that these executives were present and always told me they came to scout talent. 79. In addition to the previous paragraphs, Mr. Combs often switched his approach to force me to obey and to comply with his demands. On several occasions, he would threaten me with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat my face and informed me that he was willing to unlive his mother to get what he wanted, so he wouldn't think twice about harming me. Good goodness gracious. Mr. Combs would also make me work out of his bedroom whenever he had gang members and drug dealers visit him. I have witnessed Mr. Combs hand out burners to sticks or ratchets from hidden room in his bedroom closet. The individuals who received these ratchets were often dressed in black. I have also seen individuals bring bags of cash to Mr. Combs' home. Mr. Combs informed me that the money came from UMG. I have witnessed known gang members at his home in LA and Miami being paid from stacks of cash he had in the hidden room in his bedroom closet. I have seen Mr. Combs bring the cash out and place it on his bedroom table, bed, and couch. Other than Mr. Combs, the only individual I have witnessed enter into the hidden room in his bedroom and closet was Mr. Combs' chief of staff, KK. She was allowed to remove cash and drugs from the hidden room in his bedroom closet. And now when they searched the house, they looking for all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel as though they use all of this stuff to get that search demonstration going. But anyway, during the 13 months I lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, I witnessed KK openly ordered her assistant to keep Mr. Combs high, laced gummies and pills. I have a recording taken on the yacht of Mr. Combs that Mr. Combs rented just before Christmas 2022. Shortly after New Year's 2023. In this recording, you will hear Mr. Combs coaching comedian Amy Schumer how to rap. And KK is in the background instructing the staff to get Combs lace narcotic gummies. KK also required all employees, from the butler and the chef to the housekeeper, to walk around with a pouch of fanny pack filled with cocaine, GHB, ecstasy, marijuana, gummies, and Tucci, a pink drug that is a combination of ecstasy and cocaine. KK ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, marijuana, ketamine, mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on the rented yacht and in his homes in LA, NYC, and Miami. On multiple occasions, KK forced me to carry Mr. Combs' drug pouch against my will. I had to carry the pouch to the Booby Trap strip club in Miami. Brandon Paul always carried the black pouch with him. I have videos and photos of this, and I can provide them to the court. Remember, he's saying that he's able to provide this to the court. This is the purpose of this document right here, that he's saying he's ready to testify. Anything that he writes, he is ready to testify. This is what his name is, Lil Rod, just filed today. It says, Brandon Paul will transport the drugs through his carry-on luggage while flying with Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs informed us that TSA does not check for narcotics and other drugs in carry-on luggage. On several occasions, I witnessed Brandon Paul pack cocaine into his carry-on luggage before taking international trips with Mr. Combs. As the chief of staff, KK was instrumental in organizing and executing Mr. Combs' criminal enterprise. KK had followed individuals. KK had the following individual execute the following tasks for the enterprise: Brandon Paul and DeForester Taylor. On the following dates, I witnessed either DeForester Taylor, Brandon Paul, and KK procure transport and distribute ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms, Tucci by packing these substances in their carry-on luggage and going through TSA. And he names the dates. And now the feds most likely could match these dates up. And if he was there, that is a lot of circumstantial evidence. That's a lot of circumstantial evidence. Y'all got to remember, Stephen X said that's not true. They check bags. No, you got to remember he's flying private. I don't know if you ever flew private, Stephen X, but he's talking about he's flying private. He's not flying regular planes, bro. He's flying private. So they do a different check process with private, I'm sure. He's not not flying Spirit. You know what I mean? They flying private, and so they get checked a little bit different. So I never flew private, so I don't know. But anyway, and we know And we know that he just got picked up by in Miami, and they found drugs on him. So this actually it sounds accurate. You know what I mean? Mr. Combs advised that he does not pay for anything. Throughout my time living with Mr. Combs, he made it very clear that he did not spend his money on anything. He made it clear that he had partnerships and relationships with very powerful individuals and organizations, and these individuals and organizations funded his lifestyle. Mr. Combs told me that he had a long-standing relationship with UMG, LUCIAN CHARLES GRAINGE, and ETHIOPIA. He shared that he would be creating Love Records. He informed Ethiopia and other labels executives like L.A. Reid. Mr. Combs intended to partner with L.A. Reid and his label Hit Co., but L.A. Reid informed them that he was negotiating the sale of the label. Mr. Combs told me Ethiopia and Motown was his second option. Mr. Combs informed me that he met with Lucian Charles, CEO of UMG, and Ethiopian CEO of Motown to negotiate terms of partnership. Mr. Combs told me that Lucian, Charles Grange, and Ethiopia, and this is ironic because they just filed a response. I think Motown did, allegedly, and UMG or somebody, they just filed a response to the first lawsuit, that the initial filing that Lil Rod and his attorney filed. So allegedly, they already responded. So for him to even say all this stuff, it kind of weaves right into the facts that may be presented. Anyway, as a part of my partnership, they agreed to distribute the first and second Love album. Mr. Combs informed me that he paid for Club Love, Chalice Recording Studio, and the yacht, which he chartered in D.C. My counsel informed me that UMG claims that they had a distribution deal with Mr. Combs, and they agreed to pay him for any approved invoices for the creation of the Love album. I have to disagree. Mr. UMG statements because I have to disagree with Mr. UMG statements because Mr. Combs never paid me. And several producers I know who worked on the Love album. My counsel informed me that UMG claims that they did not pay for S workers or sponsor any of the Club Love parties and the writers camp. These claims are contradicted by the reality I saw with my own eyes. There were employees of UMG and Motown present at the writer camp, at the listening parties and after party. I was told by Mr. Combs that they were there, and I saw them there. Mr. Combs told me they were scouting for talent. As it pertains to the S workers, they also paid for them. I have several videos of Chalice recording studio sessions as well as home recording sessions, and there are S workers and producers in the studio. The S workers in these videos were only individuals paid. Where they're going wrong, yeah. Ethiopia is a black woman, but I can't pronounce the name, and I'm not gonna butcher it 100 times. You know what I mean? But what I was gonna say is the Ethiopia and the woman Ethiopia and UMG and all the claims that they didn't do all this, they failed to realize that Rod was recording everything. So they're gonna perjure themselves even before they get in the courtroom. They're going to perjure themselves before they even in the courtroom. They putting it on the record that they wasn't here, they wasn't there. They don't realize that the guy said, I recorded everything. Anyway, the filing of the screenshots of the recording sessions, which took place in Chalice Recording Studio. And there it is. There it is. He bringing receipts. Rod is bringing receipts. So at the end of the day, you can say what you want. The receipt's going to say something else. Yeah. They're going to perjure themselves even before the court date start. Even before the court date start. They don't know what he got. Whoever say Rod had an agenda, what about Diddy agenda? Good night. Did you hear this whole case? Did you hear this old case? What about Diddy agenda? All right, let's go. This video was taken on January 29, 2023 inside Sean Combs' home located at 2-Star Island, Miami. Oh man, he acting up. He acting up. Rod got the goods, man. He got the goods. He got and these are video stills. You only can tell, only time will tell what is actually in the video. Look at this. And these are video stills. Remember, these are video stills. Anyway, it says, in the recording, I can provide the court. Remember, he's doing all of this saying he's ready to testify. He's ready to testify for the feds. In the recording, I can provide the court, and on multiple other occasions, Mr. Combs shared wild stories of his 30-plus years in the music industry. He shared how he will get things by force. This included record deals, signatures on contracts, S-acts from women and men, all as well as the women of his enemies. Mr. Combs bragged about having Daphne Joy, the child mother of competing rapper. I think that's talking about 50 Cent child mother, on payroll as a S worker. I have a video of Mr. Combs on the message table receiving a message from professional masseuse while Daphne Joy is giving him a foot massage. Mr. Combs bragged about popping at a woman in the face in '99 in the club and getting away with it. Oh, that's the Shine demonstration. He bragged about departing attorney Johnny Cochran's savvy legal skills and ability to pay off the witness through private investigator and other third parties. He bragged about having Jennifer Lopez carrying his gun into the club. That's why they're researching Jennifer now. And that's why they say they're going to reopen the case. That's why they say they're going to reopen the case. Jennifer Lopez into the club, and the night of the shooting, and the fact that he had so much power and influence over her at that time. He bragged about getting Shine to take the heat for the banging, and the fact that he paid Shine through a record deal with his good friend L.A. Reid. And let me tell you something. These were rumors. These were old rumors. And now they seem to be confirmed. Mr. Combs bragged about the power he has and the fact that he beat up record executive Steve Stout. He laughed uncontrollably as he talked about busting him in the head with a bottle of champagne and a chair. On another occasion, Mr. Combs bragged about beating up Gerard Rechnisser outside the nightclub in Hollywood. Mr. Combs also informed me that only poor people pay taxes. He shared that it is common practice in the music industry to wire money from anonymous accounts overseas. This way, if there's ever need to take care of a problem, it will never trace back to him. These accounts were in Germany. Mr. Combs also shared that he invests in many shell companies and provide funding for business like Wingstop. Ugh. I could share other things, but I do not feel comfortable putting them on this document. I will be willing to discuss them. I will be willing to discuss them with the court under seal to preserve my Fifth Amendment right. In other words, he most likely had participated in some of these, what could be considered as crimes, and he need to be protected. And again, family, this was filed today. However, it was executed. It was executed on the 8th, yesterday. So this is fresh. This is fresh. This is a fresh document. If you haven't seen it, go back. If you haven't heard the whole thing, I read it all the way through. Go back and check it out. Even not only that, I read the Christian document all the way through. Even in this document where the one that Christians supposed to S-aid, she even got pictures in that demonstration. That this well. So here it is. So here it is. So with that being said, family, I'm all read out now. I mean, I think that's an exclusive. Man, listen, thanks to my brother and my friend Moochie Bear for his impeccable research in getting us the information that we need. We get it first before anybody. Family. Well, I think, well, they have a recording too, though. So she got arm picks, she got recording, she got, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, it's just a mounting of evidence against Diddy right now. It's just a mountain, you know what I mean? And I don't know how he's going to come out from under this mountain, but it's a mountain of evidence, and it just don't look good. I mean, it just don't look good. It just don't look good. Crips say the pics ain't gonna get her the bag. Well, you got the pic, you got the videos, you got witnesses, you got recording. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, family. Whether it's been a Cash App, whether it's a share, please help share this, because I'm going to be doing my due diligence and to getting exclusive research. And if you have been watching Moorish World TV, you already know that we pride ourselves of getting things that nobody else have. Even when we dealing with the frauds of the conscious community amongst us, and now the frauds within the entertainment industry, we pride ourselves on getting it first. And so, family, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, that dropped today, and we got it today. So, family, I'm going to rest my reading skills, and I appreciate y'all. We be back tomorrow. Good searching. All right? Keep on searching. And I'm out of here.
Yeah. Islam.
Oh, let me remind you again that if you wanted to advertise on Moorish World TV, something that is beneficial, something that we can appreciate and not help us to depreciate, you're welcome to send me an email at MWTVupdates@gmail.com.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I be that more you gon' remember.
He's certified.